Hi, everybody. My name is Kelly Tarpley. I'm a registered dietitian with RPM Logix. I'd like to welcome you to the webinar on superfoods. RPM Logix is a partner with your physician to provide concierge services to you. Our mission is to educate, coach, motivate everyone to live healthier lives. You're all members of our program, which gives you access to nurses, registered dietitians, diabetes educators. Let us know how we can help and support you. Speak to your care manager, email or call us to explore how you can expand your participation with us. The webinar will run about 30 minutes, after which there'll be time for you to ask some questions. Everyone participating is private. If you have some question, please place it by going to the Q&A button on your room control on the bottom of your screen and put your question there. And then I will read the questions and answer them. So, okay, I'm just going to get started. Hi, we're talking about superfoods. What are they and how do they work? The thing about superfoods is there's no such thing. This was a term that marketing developed in order to influence food trends and sell more products. But it took such a great hold on everything that we're just going to go ahead and use it. Though many foods can be described as super, it's important to understand that there's no single food that holds the key to good health and disease prevention. It's just like everything else in life. This is about balance. You need to eat a lot of different things to keep a balanced diet, to keep your nutrition where it needs to be to protect you. These foods that we're going to talk about, and all foods actually, have phytochemicals in them. And that's a plant-based compound. And there's many different kinds, but they have a lot of different benefits for your health. So let's take a look at a phytochemical. Carotenoids are orange phytochemicals. They limit cancer growth, they help with your eyesight, and they support skin health. Some of them are sweet potatoes, carrots, orange squash. We call them pumpkins. But they're really great. They have a lot of different ways to prepare. You can make sweets with them, you can make savory with them. So I'm just kind of pausing a lot. I apologize. But it's really important to understand that those colors are where we get a lot of our phytochemicals and nutrients. Antioxidants are another phytochemical. They protect your body from free radicals, which can cause cancer. They help control, they have vitamin C and vitamin E, and these are antioxidants, which can also be found in produce like blueberries, cranberries, broccoli, black plums. Remember the plate, the pretty plate, all the different colors, blues and greens and oranges and yellows. That's what we're looking for, is to get a lot of these phytochemicals, antioxidants, carotenoids, etc., in our diet to help protect us. Flavonoids reduce the inflammation and slow cancer growth. Now, these can be found in things like grapefruit, blackberries, chickpeas, elderberry juice. I do want to caution you that grapefruit juice can adversely affect your blood pressure medication. It can make your blood pressure drop too low. So if you're on blood pressure medication, before you add grapefruit into your diet, reach out to your pharmacist or your doctor to make sure that it's not going to interact poorly. These also have a lot of great fiber in them, and we're going to talk a lot about fiber because it is a mainstay and it's so helpful in your diet. Sorry. Dark leafy green vegetables, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens, turnip greens, spinach. These are loaded with folate, zinc, calcium, iron, magnesium, vitamin C, and fiber. Part of what makes the dark green leafy vegetables super is their potential to reduce your risk of chronic illness, including heart disease, diabetes, their high levels of anti-inflammatories compounds, and they may protect against certain types of cancer. I'm not a big fan of the bitterness of some of them, but I found that if I put them in salads or on a sandwich, I like them a lot better. So try different ways of preparing them. I know one of the kids that my daughter runs with comes in, eats them. She dehydrates them and just eats them like chips. So be a little creative. See if you can't find a new way to cook them that you prefer. Berries are a nutritional powerhouse of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants. Raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, cranberries. I think I'm repeating myself now, but they're loaded with all kinds of vitamins and nutrients and fiber. Now, fiber slows down the digestion and helps you feel more full and more satisfied. It also cleans out your GI tract and takes out and cancer causing agents, and it takes out cholesterol. When we eat something, if it has cholesterol in it, the fiber can attach to it and take it out of the body. But on the same term, um, it takes out excess that our body is dumping. So you want foods with a lot of fiber. And berries, they're sweet, but they're not overly sweet. So they're not going to raise your blood sugar as much as, say, a piece of watermelon. I'm not saying you can't have all of that, but just that berries are a better choice. Green tea. Originally, it's from China and is a lightly caffeinated beverage with a wide array of medicinal properties, such as protecting against heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. Are you kind of seeing a trend here? We're really looking at things that are helping to protect us against some of the worst things we face, especially the older we get, the more we face those. It has a um, antioxidant, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because it's terrible, but it's EGCG. And it's likely what gives the green tea its ability to protect against those chronic diseases. It can be used in a lot of different things, but they're also finding that it's great in weight loss. The little bit of caffeine in there kind of helps things along, keeps you a little energized, but it's not overblown like coffee or tea. I'd never had it until I moved to Waco years ago, and I had it with a little bit of mint in it. Oh, I was really impressed. So I want you to, if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. Make sure you're not getting those with a lot of added sugar. A lot of people put a lot of sugar in that to make it taste really good. So you'll buy more, but try and get it with less than 6 grams of added sugar per serving. Eggs. Everybody's heard. Historically, they're controversial because at first they said, oh, they're bad for you. They're loaded with cholesterol. It's going to run your cholesterol up. It's going to give you heart disease. And then they said, well, maybe it's not so bad. But whole eggs are rich in many nutrients, including B vitamins, choline, selenium, vitamin A, and iron and phosphorus. They're loaded with high quality protein. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. High quality protein. Um, they contain two potent antioxidants, zeaxanthin and lutein, which are known for to protect your vision and your eye health, just like the carotenoids did. The beta carotene did. These things help protect your vision as well. Now, despite the fears surrounding the eggs, their research indicates no measurable increase in heart disease or diabetes risk from eating up to 6 to 12 eggs a week. And that may even help increase your HDL. Now, for those of you who don't know, there's HDL, which is high density lipoproteins, and that's the good cholesterol. That's what keeps us healthy. And there's LDL, the low density lipoproteins, which are lousy cholesterol. So I call it happy and lousy. The happy cholesterol, usually they used to say was you were only able to get it increased by exercise. But now they found that by eating eggs, you can increase it. This study comes from the American Heart Association. We're not picking and choosing research that conforms to what we're trying to tell you. We're going out there and finding it in them sources so that you know this is accurate. And so enjoy some eggs. I tell people all the time, have it for a snack, get that extra protein in. As we get older, we start to lose our muscle mass. So it's really important that we replace that on a consistent basis. So have some eggs, try them new ways. Salmon. It's a really great fish. It's healthy. It's got healthy fats, protein, B vitamins, potassium, selenium. It's loaded in omega-3 fatty acids, which are known for a variety of health benefits, such as decreasing inflammation. And anybody with arthritis knows you want to get that inflammation down. I'm sorry, my voice is kind of rough. A potential drawback of eating salmon and other types of seafood is the heavy metals. As they're out there in the wild, they're absorbing heavy metals in the water. So you want to make sure that you're not overdoing it. So limiting it to 2 or 3 times a week is a great idea. Women that are pregnant, they have to limit it the same way because it can go to the baby. And we usually look for mercury there. So think about adding some salmon a couple of times a week. Now, when I was a kid, we did salmon patties. We wasn't the fancy, pretty fish that is. But I enjoyed it. Go back a little old school. Beans. Everybody loves beans. Some people hate beans, but I contradicted myself right there. I'm sorry. Beans are a great source of fiber and nutrients. Things like lentils, peas, peanuts, butter beans, black beans, navy beans, alfalfa. Peanuts are considered a legume. They're not considered a nut per se, but they're all great, loaded in fiber. They've got various minerals, vitamin B. They're loaded with protein. They offer many health benefits, including improved type 2 diabetes management, as well as reduced blood pressure and cholesterol. Eating beans and legumes regularly may also promote healthy weight maintenance due to their ability to improve feelings of fullness. When you eat something that has a lot of fiber, the fiber takes longer to break down. So you stay full longer, you're more satisfied, which means you eat less. Eating less means less calories. You can see the benefits. For people with diabetes, the high fiber slows down the digestion and allows the insulin to work more effectively on the glucose that's coming in, because insulin's job is to be waiting to catch. And so it slows down so it can do a better job of catching. So you can do them as a main course. You can do them as a side. There's just not much you can't add to it. Soups, those are all great. And they're even making chips out of some of them now, which are a little bit healthier than the regular potato chip. Nuts and seeds, those are really important. They're a great little snack. They have rich in fiber, vegetarian protein, and heart healthy fats. They help support weight loss. They help you feel full. Almonds, pecans, pistachios, walnuts, cashews, Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts. Even the humble peanut is thrown in there, even though it's a legume. sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds, chia seeds and flax seeds, hemp seeds. You can add a lot of this stuff to your meal without it altering the flavor very much. And you're getting all that extra nutrients and you're getting all that extra fiber in there. So if you haven't tried some of those things, you might want to step out there and do that. One thing I want to caution you about is that there's no research that says that if you have diverticula, which are the little pockets in your gut, that nuts and seeds can get stuck in them and cause inflammation. For years, the doctors told everybody, you can't eat nuts, you can't eat seeds, no tomatoes, no strawberries, nothing like that, because those seeds would get caught and cause an inflammation. But there's no proof of that. I worked with a doctor in San Antonio. This had to have been 30 years ago. And she said in all the years she had been doing surgery and looking at things, she had never found any nuts or seeds in those pockets. The way to avoid the diverticulitis was to eat a high fiber diet, and these things can contribute to that. So don't be afraid of nuts. They're a go food. Kefir and yogurt. Yogurt's one of those foods that I think you had to be introduced to young. We never really had it around. And so in about my 30s, I started eating it and I fell in love with it. I love Greek yogurt, especially because it adds that protein. And that's really important to get that protein carb, especially when you're not really hungry, but you got to eat something to keep that metabolism going and keep your body in shape. Kefir is a fermented beverage, usually made from milk, that contains protein, calcium, B vitamins, potassium, and probiotics. It's similar to yogurt, but has a thinner consistency and typically more probiotic strains than yogurt. So what you have to remember is that it's been helpful in reducing cholesterol, lowered blood pressure, improved digestion, anti-inflammatory effects. It's traditionally made from cow's milk, but more and more people are finding that they're lactose intolerant. So they are making it with things like coconut milk, rice milk, coconut water. You can buy it already made, or you can actually make your own. There's recipes online to make your own. But if you buy it, I'm going to go back to that thing I said before. If you buy it, make sure that on the package it says less than 6 grams of added sugar. A lot of people put 10 or 12 grams of added sugar in their food, in their kefir. So that would come out to 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar in this little cup. And you wouldn't just put 3 or 4 teaspoons of sugar in something and drink it. So watch your labels. Make sure that you're getting something that's going to be healthy all the way around and not add extra calories. Garlic, it's one of those aromatic seasonings I use a lot. You can use it in all kinds of different cuisines, French cuisine, Italian cuisine, Orient Asian cuisine. I mean, it's just an all-around general herb that's just great. It's a plant food related to onions, leeks, and shallots. It's got magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin B6, selenium, and fiber. There, that word again. It's a popular culinary ingredient, and it's also been used for medicinal benefits for centuries. It's not just to protect you from Dracula. It supports your immune system function, and the sulfur-containing compounds in garlic may even play a role in preventing cancer. So if you haven't used garlic in a while, use it. If you're a couple, make sure you both eat it. That way everybody gets the benefit. Olive oil. It's made, of course, from olives. It's really a mainstay in the Mediterranean diet. And again, we're going back to reduce the inflammation, risk of heart disease, reduce your risk of diabetes. Its biggest claim to health is its high levels of monounsaturated fatty acids and polyphenolic compounds. Adding olive oil to your diet, like I said, it can work with inflammation and things like that. It's loaded with antioxidants such as vitamin E and vitamin K, which can protect against cellular damage from oxidative stress. So it'll protect your cells and keep them healthy and strong. It has a unique flavor. So I do a lot of pan searing with it or sauteing with it. So give it a taste. If you haven't ever tried cooking with olive oil, give it a try. Ginger. It comes from the root of a flowering plant from China. It's used both culinary flavor enhancer, and it has multiple medicinal effects, such as managing nausea and pain from chronic inflammation conditions. When I was a kid, when I was a kid, if we got sick, mom would give us ginger ale to settle our tummies. And it works. That's the beauty of it. It has a great flavor. It can be effective in acute and chronic inflammatory conditions. It can reduce the risk of all those diseases we talked about. And the thing I thought was really interesting is that they're researching it in association with dementia, that if you eat more ginger, it can decrease your dementia or decrease your risk of dementia. And I thought that was pretty cool. It also, it also contains, it also helps prevent certain types of cancer. It's available in fresh, and that's why I buy it. I buy a little thing of it and I peel it down and use it in my stir fries. It comes in an oil or a juice. It can be dry or powdered form. It's easy to incorporate in things like stir fries, soups, sauces, teas. So you haven't tried ginger tea in a long time or used ginger for something, you might get a little creative with dinner and throw some in there. First, I can't get it to roll, then I can't get it to stop. All right. Turmeric. It's a bright yellow spice that is closely related to ginger. It's originally from India, and it's used for cooking and its medicinal purposes. Ginger is the act. I'm going to say this. Curcumin is the active compound in turmeric. It has potent antioxidants and anti-inflammatory effects, and it's the focus of the most research surrounding turmeric. Studies show that curcumin may be effective in treating and preventing chronic diseases, which we've already talked about. It may also help in wound healing, and I really am excited about that. Finding ways that we can heal wounds and decrease pain without having to go a pharmaceutical route, that just excites me. I know people have used it for generations, but we haven't really shared that and really tried to expand on that. And now they're really researching it. One drawback of using the turmeric is that it's not easily absorbed by the body. But its absorption can be enhanced by pairing it with fat and other spices like black pepper. So if you want to try seasoning with it, make sure you have a little oil in there, or make sure you have a little bit of pepper. And of course, you're adding more flavor, which means you need less salt. Kind of goes hand in hand. So be thinking about that. If you haven't ever tried it, give it a shot and see what you think. I would love to hear if any of you try any of this that you've never tried before. I'd like feedback on how it was and how it went. It's always kind of interesting to me how people are doing things. The avocado. It's a highly nutritious fruit. It's thought to be, we think of it more as a vegetable than a fruit, but it is a fruit, but it's not sweet. So it's more used in savory. It's loaded with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and healthy fats, the monounsaturated fats. Remember, those are what help us and get our cholesterol where it needs to be. It's high in oleic acid. It's the most predominant monounsaturated fat in the avocado, which is linked to, again, reduced inflammation. It may reduce your risk of heart disease, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and certain types of cancer. But I want to caution you, when you're looking at eating an avocado, just because it's good doesn't mean that you can just sit down and eat a whole avocado every day. It is a fat. Fat has more calories than carbohydrates or proteins. So if you're overdoing it, then you're not burning up those calories, then you're storing that fat. And we don't need any more storage at our age. I don't know, some of y'all may be a lot younger than me, but I don't need any more storage space. So have it as an additive, but not as a main thing for the plate. But it's a great little additive and people love it. It tastes good. I think avocado toast is one of the most popular things going right now. The handy dandy sweet potato, and remember we talked about it earlier, but it's also loaded with potassium, fiber, and vitamins A and C. It can protect against certain types of cancers. It's got a sweet flavor. I don't actually do anything to my sweet potatoes. Down here in Texas, everybody wants to put brown sugar on it and they want to put marshmallows. I don't do any of that stuff. I'll bake them off and throw a little pepper on there. And that's great. They're loaded with fiber and that beta carotene, which we talked about, the carotenoids. It will not raise your blood sugar as high as you think it will. Everybody thinks because it tastes sweet, it's going to shoot your blood sugar up. And that's not the case because, again, it's loaded with that fiber, which takes longer to digest, which lets your insulin work more effectively. And so it's actually been proven to improve glucose control in people with diabetes. And again, it's good for your heart. It's good for your cholesterol. It's just a win-win thing. There's different ways to make them. You can slice them really thin and put them in the air fryer and have them as chips. But I guess what I want to point out is that balance is our key here. You want that plate looking pretty with all these different colors and all this fiber and all this lean meat. We want it looking balanced and pretty. Mushrooms. I don't think there's probably a place in the world that doesn't use some kind of mushroom. I know they're using the portobello as like the substitute for a meat in a hamburger or a sandwich. They'll grill them off and then they'll put them on a bun and make sandwiches out of them. They're high in vitamin A. They're high in potassium, fiber, several antioxidants that are not present in most foods. Interestingly, eating mushrooms is associated with eating more vegetables because they put them in, and so we eat everything. So it kind of leads you down that path to get more vegetables in, which contain more phytochemicals, which contain more, etc. It's nutritious. And due to the unique antioxidant content, mushrooms may also play a role in reducing inflammation and, again, preventing some types of cancer. So go with the mushrooms when you can. I think it's awesome. Seaweed. Okay. Excuse me. You get a drink real quick. Seaweed is a term used to describe certain nutrient-rich sea vegetables. So it's not just that stuff that's floating around like that. It's other things too. It's most commonly consumed in Asian cuisine, but it's gaining popularity in other parts of the world due to its nutritional value. I saw a young lady come in the other day to my daughter we're in a college town, so different kids come by, but she was eating this out of a package. And I said, "What is that?" And she said, "It's seaweed. It's dried seaweed." And I took it and it was like a chip. I was rather impressed. It didn't wow me, but at the same time, it's that nutritious. I wonder how I can incorporate that with other flavors to get a really better nutritional meal. So I was kind of excited to try it. I hope that y'all can open yourselves up to trying new things. It wasn't something we did as a kid. We ate what we grew. But now we're in this area where we can try all kinds of new things safely. And I encourage you to expand your horizons and try some of these things. It contains vitamin K, folate, iodine, fiber. It's a unique sort, has a source of unique bioactive compounds, not typically present in land vegetables, which may have the antioxidant effect. Some of the compounds also reduce the risk of the other diseases we've already been talking about and obesity. If you can get full on this and you're not a lot of fat and not a lot of heavy stuff, then you're going to eat less and you'll lose weight. Okay. As in most things in life, balance is the key. All these foods can contribute to a balanced meal and help protect your health. So be adventurous. If you haven't tried some of these foods, give them a try and then let us know. I'd like to thank everyone for coming, attending this. It says a lot about individuals who invest the time to learn about new things to better their health. Not everybody does that. So I applaud all of y'all for taking the time to hear this. I'm sure I'm not the best speaker in the world, but we do take what we do seriously, we want to help, and we want to make this as good for you as we can. At the end of this, when we get through with the question and answers, there's going to be a 3 question survey. If you don't mind, please fill it out. If you think of a topic you want to hear about, anything at all, nutrition wise, please shoot us an email, talk to your case manager, let us know. Let us make this a better program for you. I want to add that we have a healthy hour every month, and you'll be receiving emails giving you the link. And that's an open forum. Everybody can ask any question you want. We'll go down any path that needs to be gone down. And it's nice to have people going through the same thing you are, and y'all teach each other things. I learn something every time I'm at anything like that. I pick up something I didn't know. So be on the lookout for our healthy hour as well. I'm going to open up the questions, I think. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody at all? Okay. If you'll just type them down below in that little box where it says questions and answers, I'll be happy to help you or look it up or whatever you need. Well, again, I really appreciate you guys bearing with me on this. This is only my second time to do it, and I'm trying to get better at it. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have anything, this is all private. Nobody can see who's asking what. So if you have a question, shoot it out there. I was told by the nutritionist to avoid sweet potatoes. Was it? I see. Well, I'm not going to say I'll answer live. This question says, I was told by the nutritionist to avoid sweet potatoes. Um, you don't have to avoid any food in particular. It's portions. If you're eating a sweet potato this big, that's a lot of extra calories. So I would really like you to think about that. They're not bad for you. Most of the time, it's not the sweet potato that's getting you in trouble. It's the butter and the brown sugar and all that other stuff you put on them. Just add a little cinnamon and you're gold. So, yeah, in the right portions, you're fine to have sweet potatoes. But remember, this is all about portion control. Just like anything else, it's balance. I hope that helped. Frozen fruits, frozen fruits, how nutritious are they? They're just as nutritious as fruit picked off a tree. They take them in, they blanch them, they flash freeze them, and they throw them in there. So all the nutrients are still there. So yes, enjoy frozen fruits. My parents actually used to freeze watermelon in the summer so they could make smoothies in the winter. Did that answer everybody's? Did that help? Okay. I'm just not used to not having the verbal feedback, and that's not what this is designed for. So I'm sorry. Um, Anything I don't cover and you want to ask, reach the phone now and tomorrow, call your case manager and tell her, hey, I want to ask about blah, blah, blah. We'll also be sending you the link to this if you'd like to go back and review it and take down anything you missed. Oh, thank you, Mr. Violante. I appreciate you. I really hope y'all all have a great evening. Remember, please fill out that little survey at the end of this. Good night and God bless.